That which was from the beginning, which we've heard, which we've seen with our eyes, which we have looked upon, and our hands have handled of the word of life. Word Out, a young people's church of the Men of Issachar Vision Incorporated, brings you God's word. Be blessed as you listen.
Romans chapter 12. Let's start from verse 3. I think I'm going to verse 5. Romans chapter 12. Is anybody there? Romans chapter 12 from verse 3. Okay. Can we read together, please? Now, hold on there. The last week we were talking about no branch is superior. No branches come in different sizes. No branch is superior. You see, no branch made himself superior. I mean, in that side. God determined that this is the kind of branch I want. And he gave everyone according to measure. Is this scripture looking like it now? According to his own measure, he gives one. Not to think of yourself. So don't think of yourself more highly. The fact that we honor you and we make you look as if you are high, be careful. Don't think of yourself highly. Others can make you look high. You yourself, don't think of yourself, but that's how to remain humble. By the virtue of the way God is using you, we might esteem you, call you big names, call you big titles, give you big seats. You understand? Give you big dues and big honorarium, big everything. You understand? We might send 5 cars to go and bring you from your house to the meeting. Do everything. But we are the ones thinking highly of you. But you yourself, what? Don't think. Now, look at it. Paul didn't say, don't let others think highly of you. He didn't say others. The concern is you. Pride is not by what people do with you. Pride is what you think inside of you. Pride is what you do, think inside of you. So if there are some people that are proud, and yet people are not thinking them to be high. There are people you think to be low, yet they are proud. Because in their heart, they think high of themselves. Do you get it? I say, why don't they look like that? Oh, if they know who I am. You see, we think you are low, but inside of you, you think you are high. You are already proud. So pride is more personal. It's about you. Pride, so do not think how to think of himself more highly than he ought to think. How should you think? That means there is a way you ought to think. What should you think? Think of it that you are entrusted with what you have. You are entrusted. It's not your own. You are only a manager. Is it 1 Corinthians 4:2, Abi? Faithful steward. What should I be check? Is it 1 Corinthians 4:2 or 2 Corinthians 4:2? Faithful stewards. 1 Corinthians 4:2. Moreover, it is required in stewards that one be found faithful. Give it to me in simpler message, translation, simpler translations. Stewards. Who are stewards? Who are stewards? Those who are trusted with such an important work must show that they are worthy of that work. I like it. Those who are trusted. See, whatever is in your hand is not your own. So how to say, do not think of yourself, I mean, beyond the way you ought to think of yourself. How should you think of yourself? You are entrusted with something. It's not your own. You are borrowed. You are trusted. And so you must live your life in such a way to show that you can be trusted. So it's not yours. Don't go and do yanga. You know, some people are asked to send on errand. And they give them the car key. Okay, use that car. Go and help me buy something there. And then they drive like the owner. They will not go there. They will now go to the street where that girl is living. They will now drive. And then they will now be on and increase the sound of the stereo. The thing will now be very high and be honey and be just to, and when they come out of the car like this, they decided to buy something though. They will now turn back. When all of them are looking, they will now do it like the pam pam. All of you will now look. They will now shoot like this and walk. As if it's their home. That is the way many people behave with the call. Many people treat the call as if it's their home. Do not think of yourself highly than you ought to think. How should we think? We are entrusted with it. Let's go back to Romans chapter 12, verse 3. But to think soberly, as God has dealt to each one a measure of faith. You see, it is God that gave it to you. So don't think because something I have look as if it's bigger than your own. you are baby. We are the strong people. Don't think you are closer to God. Listen, it's not by you. God decided on his own. This is the measure I want to give you. Though measure can be increased. Are you with me? But God decided on his own. This is the measure I want to give you. Even though measure can be increased, if you do want to increase measure, God can decide not to give you. It has his discretion. So don't look down on others. Don't. That way you should not compare yourself. Manage your office. Manage what you are given. Enjoy it. Maximize it. Verse 4. For as we have many members in one body. Give it to me, KJV. But all members do not have the same function. All of us do not have the same office. All of us do not have the same office. Then your body now, there are different parts. Do they all perform the same thing? Are weakness in the Lord? Imagine all the parts in your body. They are all working. Let me show something else. And they are all working like this. They are all working. All the parts of your body. Will you be an human being? Animals that work with their whole body, are they human beings? Snakes, snake cross on the whole body. Is that not so? Is that a human being? You see, you will become what God has not made you. God has a specific reason for his body. So he makes everybody's calling to differ. Everybody's calling will not be the same. So we perform different functions. We have different offices. Please have different offices. That word I like it. Because that's where we're coming from. Magnify your office. Have you? Magnify your calling. Magnify. That's where we're coming from. That's where we're starting from. He said we all have different ones. But my interest, verse 5. So we have been many. Listen, you are not the only one God called. God has called many people. And sometimes some people are intimidated by there are many people. So you hear, why is God calling to that? Many people are already doing that thing. How many of you have been talking like that before? What? God asks you to do something, and you feel like many people are already doing something. You feel like, if whether I do it or I don't do it, I won't be noticed. You feel intimidated that there are too many people in that direction. Many. Listen, God will not call you into a direction. Listen, every direction God will call you, there are already many people there. But there is going to be a slight difference in what he asks you to do. A slight difference. Anything God is calling anybody to. It was the wise man, Solomon, that said there is nothing new. There is nothing new actually. Everything that is happening has happened before. Men only do not know history. It has happened before in one form or the other. You see, there is a way about God's calling. It's going to be, but many people are intimidated. God asked me to reach teenagers. You now look at it, like in my hand, I can count 20 people already reaching teenagers. Something to just tell you that, you see, you despise yourself. There are many. And then see, so we be many. There is a warning from scratch. We are many in this business. We are many. You are not the only one. So in whatever thing God is asking you to do, initially to look as if you are many. But if you continue in obedience, you will soon realize a particular direction, something specific about it that God is asking you to do. You will soon realize something specific. Maybe you also say, school outreach. There are many people do school outreach. In fact, when I was in school, people were already doing outreach to us. One will come on Monday, one will come on Tuesday, and they are not tired. They have not been tired. They are still doing. So you want me to go and join them again? You didn't give me Saturday to come and because you're already thinking. You approach the school, they tell you, we already have 5 people coming. See, everywhere you go, you can already hear that many people are doing it. But there is something about your own school outreach that is different from others. Until you start, you won't notice it. That there is a difference. None of you are going to say, God's work's already been done. So you relax. God's work, if it's already been done, God wants to do, it won't trigger you to go and do again. For God to ask you to go and do your part, there is something there they are not doing that you have to do. There is a small portion they have left for you. But that small portion, you will pursue it throughout your life. You will finish it. It's a small portion. A tiny portion, others cannot cover it. God wants to cover all ground. So every ground not cover, it brings somebody together. Listen, as many churches we have in the city today, I'm not going to read it to. Let me stay in Ibadan. As many churches, how many churches do you have in Ibadan? Let me make it easier. How many denominations do you have in Ibadan? Can you count? Are you aware that God is still calling some people to start another church in Ibadan? Not branch, to start another church, another means in Ibadan, yeah. Despite all we have here, God is asking some to start. Why is God still asking them to start? Because there is a part, a portion, one small thing that others are not doing, and He wants them to do it. There is always this small portion. So He said, we are many. This is a business of many people. See, some of you, or some of us, we are happy and thrive when it looks as if you are the only one doing something. It gives you a lot of morale and ginger. Listen, in this business, you are not the only one. There are many people on that road. And you better learn how to live with many people in the business. It's not that for some of us because of background. You can't tolerate other people do what you are trying to do. Probably you're a holy child or you're not more than two. So when you see many people involved in anything, something, you withdraw. Because you are used to having all the attention. You are used to having all the attention. So you stay away. So they put you in a school and you get in your class and you saw 45 people in the class. Mom, I can't go to that school. Change my school. You see, something, we are not happy with that school. And your mom said, and then they change to a school. They get to a class and there are only 9 people and you are happy. You see, there are some of us that we enjoy attention. We look for it. It's a subconscious thing. It's a subconscious thing. You see, you might not know it's there, but it's there. See, you are not your real self when there are many people doing what you are trying to do. That's why some people cannot join choir, but they want to do special number. Do you get it? So they are waiting for those special services. When we say those are special number and specials to register, that day they will come, but they will not join choir. You see, they want attention. In this business, there are many. Some of you are not interested in what God is trying to do because you feel that there are already many people doing it. Listen, there are still going to be many people waxing record. Better go and wax your own. Some of you have to write book and you feel like, there are already millions of books in this world. You went to Amazon and you saw books and you saw 100 and something million books. And you wonder, if I throw my one into this one, it will sink. It will not deserve. Let me not waste my energy. Let me just... There are many people. Many. But, is there been many? But we are all one body. Listen, what should concern you is this. Even though we are many, make sure your motive is right. I'm working for the big body. I am kingdom-minded. If I am kingdom-minded, my part, that's my small part, will still be felt. That's a good test to let you know what it is. One of the reasons why we have issues with that we are many already in it is because somewhere inside of us, we are not doing it for the body. We are doing it for ourselves. And that's how you want to be noticed. If you are doing something for the body, you might not be noticed. But God, who owns the body, will notice you. And God will talk about those He notice on that day. You listen to me? On that day. And the works of everybody will be brought forth. The works of everyone will be brought forth and going to test it by fire. That is when God is going to show that they actually notice. So don't fight to be noticed. Don't run the calling to be noticed. Run the calling, please have your seat. Run the calling to uplift the body. Run the calling to make the body awesome. Run the calling to make the body fully functional. That's your concern. Do your part in the calling and in the body. Just do your part. He said, for so be many, we are one body in Christ, and everyone members one another. Let me make it easier. New Living Translation of this verse. He said, so it is with Christ's body. We are all parts of His one body. His one body, but all parts. Let me ask you. Pastor Tom, please stand. How many parts does He have in His body? Oh yeah, science students. Or science graduates. You say you're not saying. Hey, sorry. How many parts does He have in His body? He had many parts. No. You were 20. How many parts? No. He said parts. He said parts. He didn't say organ. He didn't say organ. He didn't say tissue. He didn't say system. He said parts. So how many parts does He have in His body? Who has an answer? Pastor, what do you say? Eyes, nose, ears. You can't even get that one. In your eyes, do you know how many parts is your eyes? You say eyes have cornea, Abi? In your cornea, do you know how many parts is your cornea? Hey, Pastor, see, these are science lecturers. Oh yeah, researcher. Oh yeah, how many parts does he have in his body? Where is the mic? Please wait, hold on for the mic, so I'll start again.
Tell us how many there are. Because if you want to talk about system, we can tell you the systems. But in systems we have organs. In system we have tissues.
No.
Organs. In organs we have tissues. In tissues we have cells. Inside cells now, we now have other organelles inside cells. And the number of cells. The number of cells in a human being, they are even uncountable. So we will not be able to tell how many parts. Structure it to the smallest indivisible part a human being. It's uncountable. Only God can tell us. God even check the number of the head too. It could also be a part.
It's not part. It's not part of your body. You see? Thank you, sir. You can't count. I see that. You can't count. That's how many we have. How many are called? You can't count the number of people called. You can't count. So let's move on. And each of us have different work to do. And so we are all one body in Christ. We belong to each other. Listen to this. We belong to each other. Every calling belongs to each other calling. And each of us need all the other. We all need one another. Your calling cannot run independent. That's Message Bible. Your calling cannot run independently. Your calling cannot run independently. So stop treating others as if they are not needed in your life. And you don't know when they are going to leave their own calling. That's why you must cherish relationship. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 11. He said, God has planted eternity in the hearts of men. Another version used the word, He has planted purpose in human heart. But even so, people cannot see the whole scope of God's work from the beginning to the end. He has planted, eternity means timeless. Is somebody with me? Timeless. What God is up to in a timeless version. It has no beginning, it has no end. It is in your heart. He has planted everybody. But one way or another, you cannot phantom the scope. But once in a while, something clicks. Something comes out of that timeless period and click with something. That's not what we were talking about last week about dots. See, once in a while, something clicks. And I'm narrowing down today on God bring callings that are connected to your callings. He brings them across your way. But He doesn't tell you this is a calling you need. He brings human beings to you. But the calling is inside the human being. He brings human beings to you. But the callings is inside the human being. You meet them. But you don't know that you are meeting them. And the funny ways you meet them in some funny ways. And then you connect. Sir, it's not everybody that you have met in this world that you are connected to. Can you count how many people you have met in this world? I'm going to give you a typical example today. It's not everybody I have introduced you to. I have to say, meet this person. Even in church, I tell you, meet this person. Is it everybody I are connected to? But I introduced someone to you when we were still doing Young People Sunday. It just look like a casual introduction. Just meet this person, meet this person. Is that not so? Casual. Oh, you play keyboard, I think. Okay. Casual. But look at your journey from then to now. Listen, God causes you to meet people. It is not to say, what is in you? Is it your ear that you want to meet another person's ear? Is it your complexion that they want to meet? No. It is your calling that God is bringing another calling to meet. Not human beings meeting human beings. And when you meet somebody that you have something to do, there is a knitting together, a connection between your function in the body. When it comes together, something in you just tell you just get attracted to that person suddenly. At times you look and see that person is familiar. And you begin to wonder, I've met this person somewhere, and you can't place it. Actually, you've met. Your spirit has met. Your spirits were together before the God of all spirits. And they were given assignments that were close to each other. And so when they finally meet themselves, you thought that I know this person. No, it is not you that is familiar with this person. It is the spirit that is familiar with the spirit. And then a drawing and a knitting begins to occur between such lives. And God begins to draw you close. Because you have something to do together. At times, one of the easiest ways to meet people that your calling are directly connected to one another, you meet them under the same covering you are. Under the same, that's why, see, people that God is connecting you to, especially under the same spiritual covering you are, be very careful with them. Because in every nuclear family, no, Christ's body is like an extended family. In every nuclear family, is that not so? Your brothers and your sisters, they are the real people you should be closer to. They have something more direct to do to you. Hebrews chapter 2 verse 11. He said, we are all brothers and sisters. But if we are all brothers and sisters, and in this nuclear family, God has now brought us together, mind everybody here. It's not by accident that you are the set of people in this church at the same time now. It's not coincidence that you are the same people in this church. It's not coincidence. It tells you that there is a lot of interconnection between what God wants you to do in life. There is a lot of interconnection. And you must be careful and not joke with such kind of relationship. Don't mess it up. People God brings your way and you just suddenly like them and you can't explain why you like them. Be very careful with them. How do you manage it so that what God wants you to do together will not be spoiled? Be a Christian. I'm going to tell you one of the things you should know. People that sleep around, they don't sleep around with every opposite gender they meet. Are you aware? Whether it is, what do you call it, one night stand or continuous one. It's not everybody they meet. I'm not talking about those who made it a business. Okay? I'm talking about it's not everybody. They will see, listen, you see, a girl see many guys. Many guys will have tried to ask her to open her leg. She will not answer. But one will come and she will accept. There is a connection. There is a connection. Let me tell you one thing. Many people doing boyfriend and girlfriend, there is actually a connection deep like this. But the devil is abusing it. One of the things you should be careful. And the first, the first approach of the enemy to you, when there is a connection between you and somebody of the opposite gender, is a sexual attraction. Is somebody hearing me here? A sexual attraction. When there is a connection between you, one of the things the enemy tries to make it, enemy interprets it as a sexual attraction. Now that's why I say, be a Christian. If you don't remain a Christian, if you follow your feeling, you will mess up what God is planning between the two of you. You will do what you want to do. You will go your way and everything. It might be 8 years' time. That is there to do. But when she sees you, what will this user? Loser. She's not going to see that calling. Anything she sees about you, the job you want, loser. And if that calling has to do with to connect you, to connect her with some of your friends, you know what she's going to say? All of you are the same. All of the time God opened my eyes to some of these depths. But I had a friend. I said, no, we were very close. People thought we were going to get married. Very close. At some point, you have to tell ourselves, we're not getting married. This closeness, we are not getting married. Let's keep minding ourselves, we are not getting married. By the time we said, the day I opened my mouth and I said it like that, slapped me so my eyes were clear. Then, after many months, she met one of my friends. She met two of my friends, physically. And something began to build between her and one of them. Well, today they are married with 4 children. I begin to do. Now, and God began to explain to me that their marriage will never have been possible if you had not been a Christian with her. If I had not been a Christian with her, if I just tried even ordinary small touching, do you know the day she meets my friend, she will only conclude that that's your friend, Abby. All of them are the same type. If I had not been a Christian with that my friend, we slept on the same bed for 40 months. If I had not been with my Christian with that my friend, the day she realized that this lady is my friend, what will be his conclusion? That one too is your friend. You generalize. There are times people before meeting you, knowing you, they have generalized who you are. They have assumed you are based on the person they know you through. They have concluded. So people might think you are better than you are or think you are worse than you are based on the person they met you through. People just subconsciously just memorize that kind of person is. Listen. Be a Christian with everybody, even though you are the same gender. Be a Christian. Because you don't know when that thing, you don't know when that thing God is planning will actually speak for us. What you have done in your previous relationship with that person will determine how that person will respond to what God is doing. It can dampen the person's heart. It can encourage the person's heart. I told you those who have saved themselves, if they finally meet in church, I used to tell people, I said, listen, I've seen it happen in the life of my parents. I've seen it happen in the life of many people I know. Sometimes it's not about you yourself. It's about your children. And then your child will come home and talk beautifully about somebody. And then you ask for the name. And they mention the name. But not even that to do marriage. Talk to somebody about something anyway. And then the person mentioned the name. And then wait again. Come again with that name. Come again. Ask that person. Does he know so person? And they go, I say, he knows so person. I say, no. Because of what you know about the person that bought that name. Maybe a father, a mother, a relative somewhere before. You just conclude that all of them are the same. In this part of the world, some parents are adamant. Our child cannot marry from that town. Our child cannot marry. See, when they are so adamant, why do you think they are adamant like that? Some of them have never been to that town. But listen, there was somebody from that town that did something. And most people here are from that town. They generalize, all of you are the same. Excuse me, which town does not have bad people? Which town does not have bad people? Which village? Tolu? Which village does not have bad people? So they are bad people. They are, those people, they are bad people. Everybody are bad. But because they have not heard about their bad person, so we can only allow you to marry from this place and this place. They have not heard about the bad people in that place. The day they hear about their bad people, they will not. Cherish relationships. Especially the ones you meet under the same spiritual covering. Jesus came on the scene. Peter and Andrew were brothers. James and John were brothers. Philip and Nathaniel were friends. Are you seeing the pairing? But Peter did not know James and John, even though they were all fishermen. They can never meet. No, they can never meet. Peter was a small-scale fisherman. John and James were big-time multinational fishing company. That is multinational. That one was multinational. Because the Bible said their father Zebedee, was with his son, his 2 sons, and their hirelings. So if you do a business and you have employee, that's a big business. But Peter, in fact, at times he has boats, at times he stays by the water side, and he throw hook. The day he can't rent boats, he will throw hook, at least so that they will not come to the pressure and go there. That was why he paid him that day, he did not catch anything. The boat was borrowed. Owo Jonah. It was painful. The day we even get boat, we didn't catch anything. Because when boat is on renters, they come tomorrow, even if you have the money, they may say no boat to rent. But that day, that's why it's tempting. So it was a small, despite the fact that they do the same business, they never met. Even if they are met, nothing clicked. Nothing clicked. Listen, but something clicked between Peter, James, and John when they came to Jesus. When they met under Jesus, something clicked and they walked together. Acts chapter 3. In fact, by that time, Peter has forgotten Andrew, his blood brother. He was working with John. At that time too, John, his brother, they had done something to him. So, what was that? Let's say, Peter and John were they were partners. He became his newfound brother. Something in that clip, but how did they connect? They connected under the same spiritual covenant. Listen, one good way God will do it for you to connect with some callings that will help your callings is that He will bring you under the same spiritual covenant. So there should be nobody here you are keeping malice with. There should be nobody here you are not greeting. There should be nobody here you are saying is in that group. I'm in this group. Because you don't know, that person you are putting on the other side of the border might be the person that is connected to your calling that God brought you here for. There are callings connected to your calling. And the way they will do it, callings don't announce themselves, I told you. And callings don't fulfill callings by announcing it. It just flows. It flows through relationship. They just begin to relate with you. They give you ideas. They give you suggestions. They ask, can we go and do this together? Some of you, your eyes will be open to your own calling by a friend here asking you that, I have this project I'm doing somewhere there. Let's go and do it together. And you go. And while you are there, your eyes will be open to your own. Some of you have callings here. It takes somebody who has calling to drag you into your calling. That's why we should learn how to partner with people. Hey, bro, you are doing this program. How can we help? That is how callings help callings. Because some of you, it is in that you will discover your calling. You know, there are some people, their calling is organized for God. They don't stand on the podium. It's organized for God. So you say, how can you say, hey, I just need to help you organize these things, organize it. And then you go there, you organize. I say, you did it well. I help you organize. Let's say, then another person will say, let me recommend somebody for you. This person can help you to do this thing. Then people begin to recommend you around. And then, people begin to know that you can do that thing. You never knew it was a special grace God has given you until somebody dragged you into it. Collaborate with other callings in doing their callings. Your own callings will come from. It will speak. Because, and see, when you join this man to do what God asked him to do, you know what thing? What you are going to do in helping him will still be your calling. You cannot do what you are not called to do. Even though they put you in a department that doesn't look like your calling, but you will get there, you will turn them and they will do what you want. And say, okay, that's not our job description for you. Our job description is this. Your calling with people. All callings needs is a platform to operate. Callings with comfort. That's why in church, don't be bothered. If they ask you to be head of technical, and you say, no, I have a prophetic grace, don't disturb your head. Just go and do head of technical. All you need is a platform. The prophetic grace will speak from technical. You just come. Okay? Off the generator. Why? Just off it. What is that? Just off it. Off the generator. They will off it. Off all the heavy gadget. Off it. Then you go to one particular socket. And then you do like this. You see? If you have waited 2 minutes more, this will have gone. See, you don't see. Prophetic grace. Let me see where I have to stay. Your calling. Is it clear now? Your calling will speak forth by platform. So join, collaborate, relate. Some of you have not discovered what God is asking you to do. Because all you do is you come to church and you go home. You have people in your life who are doing things. You are not helping them to do things. Help them. Join them. How can we help? In fact, ask people beside you now. What do you do? What do you do? What's the little thing you know about your calling that you are doing now? What are you doing now? What is the little thing? Ask. What is the little thing you are doing? I don't even know anything you are doing. I don't do anything. The person says you don't even do anything. Can you imagine? What are you doing? What have you sensed? What have you sensed? What have you sensed? trusting God that probably the next meeting or the one after that, I will try and break down some examples of callings. God helping us. So as you understand these things better. But what am I emphasizing today? Treasure the people God has brought now. We all need one another. God planted us for each other. And when we appreciate and celebrate these things, these connections, you will maximize your whole calling. Don't despise people around you. Alright? Don't despise people around you. You think it's by accident that they gave you this sister. I said, she's the sister of my friend. And you see, you just generalize and just casualize everything. You see, there are some callings that for the collection to click, God bring them under the same roof. But what you just generalize. You just generalize and you live based on those family relationships and co. You just stay on that level. You do not go deeper. You will ask yourself, God, why? You tell God, God, why? Then you tell the person, why is it that it is you we are living together? Why? Some of you are staying with somebody. You have to ask yourself, you are both believers. You have to keep asking, why? You ask God personally. You ask the person, do you know this? You don't know. Let's pray together. There must be a reason. I could have had any other roommate. But why is it you? I told you my friend we slept for 14 months. Why was it that we slept for 14 months together on the same bed? We came together very, very mysterious circumstance. I came into jam on the level. He came into the entry 200 level. And there was always this class. They are superior to people that came by jam. They feel they are superior. And we that are jam, we feel that these students are proud. We feel that they are proud. So we don't talk. We don't relate. And then this one came to our fellowship. We met in fellowship. I don't greet him. He doesn't greet me. We just stay your lane. I saw my lane. After almost one semester, he just walked up to me one day. And he just came to me. He said, good evening. I said, good afternoon too. Look at me. He said, have you heard about Bishop Oyedepo? I said, have you heard about Bishop David Abiyoye? I said, have you listened to the message before? I said, I don't have time to listen to it. He said, take! Go and listen to it. Like a soldier. That thing irritated me. Talking to me like this. I said, you guys are proud. I didn't tell him face to you. You guys are proud. He gave me 2 messages. He said, go and listen to it. I'll connect it next service. Listen to it too. First time we are talking. I was annoyed though. And I went to those tapes. I didn't plan to listen to it. Then about a day before the service, I just had that thing. Why don't you just, you two you are proud. Yeah, this for you two you are proud. 2 proud people have met. So you are not proud of it. You think you are not proud. Yeah, listen. I listened to the message. So I saw him. He said, what did you learn from it? I calmed down, brother. About less than 10 days later, they called us together. I became president, became general secretary. Less than 10 days later. Was it 10 days later? No, I became something, I became something. Then after that, I became president, became general secretary. And at that time, we had to sleep on the same bed. There's an official quarters. That's how we came together. Now, all those things, it was now when I began to see the connection between his wife and him. When both of them have not seen it, I saw it before they saw it. When I began to see it, that's when I know that. So this was the meeting God brought this man to me. I'm going to introduce him to his wife. But we have to sleep together. This woman had never met him. He doesn't know him. But trust was because he said, I lived with him for 14 months. And was asking me some speak about him. How is his prayer life? He said, hey, GK. When GK start prayer like this, how is study life? I'm not the one giving out CV. Giving out CV. And now also was asking me. He said, that girl looks pompous. That girl, the way she talks. She looks, no, I said, yes, she looks like that, but she's deep. She's deep. She has one camouflage. So I'm the one, no? It's deep between the two. And telling this one this. But it was needed. If they had met themselves by themselves, they won't get married. Even after all those periods, for out of their courtship, for about 11 months, they fought one fight and everybody went their way. They fought one fight, sorry. And everybody went their way. It got to a point, I had to make a call. And I called him. I rebooked him. Forgot it was older than me by 2 years old. Forget that too. I rebuked him for. We just say, And after I finished rebuking him, he said, thank you for your rebuke. Even without listening to my side of the story. I said, I don't need your side of the story. I said, I give you freedom. Go back and beg. And I called the phone. I called that one too. I said, you didn't do well, you didn't do well, you didn't do well, you didn't do that. He said, no. He said, don't tell me that. He's going to come and beg you. Better I say the begging. What's he? Both of you. I did big brother for the two of them. I was, They did not call me together. I said, don't come and see me about that. I said, for what? I guys can say, yeah, that's all now. So go and fix a wedding date. That's all. I became their counselor. You see, life is sweet. Is somebody with me? Life is interesting when you understand the basic mysteries of life, the basic principles that govern life. God is connecting you with people. And I place an emphasis. And I use Peter and John. Abi? Emphasis. People under the same spiritual covering you are. Don't joke with it. Don't joke with it.
We hope you've been greatly blessed. That which we have seen and heard, declare we unto you, that you also may have fellowship with us. And truly our fellowship is with the Father and with His Son, Jesus Christ.
Contact and follow us on all our social media handles
at MIV Word House. Stay strong, vigorous, and victorious.